What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 10 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Today, we are once again using Chris Reitz's team that we had featured on the channel yesterday, featuring a hyper-offensive Zacian, and particularly close to my heart, Suicune. So looking at our first opponent, it is Zacian, Regieleki, Incineroar, Amoonguss, with a Pelipper and Urshifu. So there's a lot of things that are of interest. Regieleki is a big one. I like Suicune to match the potential Tailwind. I think Suicune, Rillaboom are very big here because Rillaboom threatens Regieleki. Yeah, Suicune does threaten Regieleki. Not Suicune. Rillaboom threatens Regieleki. It also can help deal with the Pelipper with Fake Out Pressure, or what we can do Incineroar, Zacian, Landorus. Rillaboom is nice, so is Thundurus, but I think this is the 4 we need to go for, because I do need to stop Pelipper from potentially setting up a Tailwind. The big fear for a lead would be Pelipper Regieleki, but I do feel confident that Suicune can tank a hit. And similarly, like we can switch out from Regieleki, from Suicune into Landorus. So we are going to see Zacian Amoonguss, which is really great for us because we can immediately get Fake Out Pressure onto this Amoonguss, as well as set up a Tailwind. So now we are going to hopefully be the fastest thing on the field and scare hopefully away that the Zacian. So let's just go. I think Tailwind is super safe, as well as a Fake Out just into the Amoonguss. Just with the idea, we want to get it to switch out. I want to see if they have Pelipper. Pelipper will make things interesting. We are still in a kind of bad position if they have Pelipper, because now we don't have a clear way. We do have Ice Beam on Suicune, so we do still threaten into Amoonguss, but at the same time, we don't really have anything that wants to take a hit from it. So we do see the Protect, which is great for us, as we can now safely go for the Fake Out to damage the Amoonguss, break any sort of Sash, and set up our Tailwind. And now we have a really big Scald. Yeah, we can go for a Scald. Yeah, let's Scald into Zacian and go for a Flare Blitz into the Amoonguss. Because now the question is, if you have... Okay, so we are going to see a swap, I'm guessing, into Pelipper, right? Into Incineroar. Okay, so this is an interesting choice because of the fact that we still... Let's see. Actually, is this interesting? Oh, wow. That is a very fast Zacian. Whoa, what? Interesting. Okay, so Zacian is able to outspeed Suicune, but they're now at -1 defense, so this should be a very big Scald. Whoa. Interesting. Okay, so this is... We set up Tailwind, right? We have Tailwind up. Let's go for another Scald here, and then... Because we have... Okay, so... 220. What is Suicune's speed? Suicune is 106, so it is possible... Okay, so this is pretty much a max speed... what is it called? A max speed Zacian. I feel fine actually just like potentially sacking Zacian, especially if we can hit a burn onto their Zacian with a Scald. That would be really huge. We will see the Fake Out come out into Suicune. That's fine. We have Inner Focus. A second Close Combat will come out, and so maybe at -2 we should be able to pick up the knockout. It'll be interesting. I'm guessing my opponent forgot about Inner Focus, as yeah. Okay, great. I think the crit is close, but I don't think it makes too much of a deal in the end game. So we are going to be able to get rid of their Zacian. We know that they have a Mungus, which doesn't like Zacian, especially because we are so offensive, and we now threaten their Incineroar. So we will see Pelipper in the back. So we do have a pretty, not a pretty clear, but I think what is fine here is to... We could Scald into the Incineroar and substitute with Zacian, right? Because we expected... I'm guessing we're going to see a swap from Incineroar. Yep, swap into Amoonguss. So now we can get behind a substitute. So even if they want to switch back in, we don't really have anything to worry about. The main fear, though, is what? When our Tailwind expires. But even then, that's not a super big deal, as we just see a Scald, so not even a Tailwind, as they will hit into Zacian. Maybe not my best idea, given that I thought that they would just go for a Tailwind, but I'm fine to at least Ice Beam into their Amoonguss and then go for a Protect, right? Because what I want to do is I am expecting you to target into Zacian. And so I'm trying to bait out a Protect with their Amoonguss, so we can see how that works out, right? Because you can, I'm guessing you Protect. Oh, that was a very good switch. That was a very, very good switch. So what? How do we? We know that Pelipper can't actually do that much to... Let's think. I think we can afford to sacrifice... Do we sacrifice Ensign? Let's sacrifice Ensign, because that way if you knock me out, I get a free switch in into Landorus, and Landorus has Rock Slide, which can help against Pelipper, but like, yeah, this Pelipper is doing some work. Yeah. Sacrificing Ensign is less than ideal, but we do have Ice Beam for Amoonguss with Suicune, so yeah, and we also will preserve Zacian, so Zacian can help deal with Incineroar and Amoonguss if we can pivot it correctly. So let's see. It would be interesting to see if my opponent is going to just try to keep pivoting between Incineroar and Amoonguss, but we are actually just going to see a fake out into what was the Zacian, which is great. We will see a Hurricane come out as long as there's no confusion. Great. We get the Scald off into Ensign, and we do pick up the knockout. So this is really great for us, right? Because now we have fake out pressure into the Amoonguss as well as damage into Pelipper. I think it isn't over just due to the fact that Pelipper is really scary, which is something I never thought I would say. But we've, okay, 2 turns of rain. What we can do is we Ice Beam here and go for a fake out onto Amoonguss. Yeah, let's go for that, because then Zacian can deal with their Amoonguss, and we can continue to put pressure onto Pelipper with Suicune. We will just see a Hurricane into Suicune, which is fine with me. We will hit the Ice Beam. I think this is still a little bit tricky. I don't think we actually take another Hurricane. I'm going to go for a Snarl and go for a Throat Chop into Pelipper, because I'm more worried about Pelipper than Amoonguss. So we will see a Scald come out into Ensign. So that's fine. Ensign will go down. We will be able to hit an Ice Beam onto... Or a Snarl. Oh god, we went for a Snarl. Snarl is fine, right? We are reducing the amount of damage Pelipper is doing. Rain is about to expire. So I'm guessing, yep, a Spore will come out into Suicune. But we, at this point, will threaten... We threaten big damage with Behemoth Blade onto Amoonguss. So do I scout for protect? Yeah, we are really low, and I don't really want to rely strictly on... So we are guaranteed to be asleep. Let's just go for a Snarl, and let's just go for a Protect. I want to see if their Amoonguss has Protect. Unless they try and read into me. Okay, we're just seeing a Scald. Pollen Puff is scary. Suicune is still asleep. That's fine. We're seeing Giga Drain. Not what I was expecting. So that makes things tricky. I say what? Let's go for an Ice Beam into Pelipper and a Behemoth Blade onto Amoonguss. And I think, let's see, if we pick up the KO with Behemoth Blade, Landorus just needs to hit. Let's see. Okay, great. We KO not Pelipper. We KO Amoonguss, and now we are going to Tailwind. Okay, interesting choice. Right, Suicune fast asleep, still unfortunate. You now have to, actually that is, no, because Landorus is still faster. We go for an Ice Beam here, as well as a Behemoth Blade onto Pelipper. And so you can only KO one thing. Okay, so they are going to cancel. I think that there still was opportunity for my opponent to press on. They didn't know that I had Landorus, but yeah, I think Landorus would have needed to hit a Rock Slide, but we were still in a very good position because you did have to make a choice on who to KO, and I guess your out would be you KO Zacian with a Scald, hope Suicune is asleep, and then I miss Rock Slide, you KO with Scald, I don't KO you with Ice Beam, and then you hit a Hurricane and KO. So definitely a little bit tricky, but still doable. But still a very good first game, and yeah, let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to game number 2. All right, battle number 2, and it is Eternatus. Interesting. It is Eternatus, Incineroar, Rillaboom with Tapu Fini, a Landorus of their own, and Mimikyu. Landorus is huge here. We just have to set it up correctly. So what? I like Landorus. I like Suicune. Zacian is obviously great. And then the question is, what is the last one? I like Thunder. Do I like Thundurus? Thundurus is nice because it does have Eerie Impulse, which can help deal with Eternatus. It also does have Taunt. So that, I think, can play a big role. I'm going to lead Suicune with Landorus? I'm going to do Suicune Zacian with Thundurus Landorus. My thought process with Suicune Zacian is Suicune only really needs to worry about Rillaboom. Right? Because we do have to worry about a Grassy Glide. We should be able to tank one. So what so the lead that would scare me the most is Incinerilla, because then you can fake out my Zacian with Incin and go for a Grassy Glide or a Wood Hammer with Rilla. We are going to see a Tapu Fini next to Eternatus. So this is... I don't want... I kind of want to attack into Eternatus. Yeah, the pressure is scary because we can't just freely go for, what is it called? Behemoth Blade? And honestly... Ooh, Psychic Seed is scary. Or Misty Seed. I feel fine going for... I could go for a Snarl. What did I bring? I brought Double Genie. I'm going to go for... Do I want to Tailwind? Yeah, I'm going to Tailwind and go for... a sub. That's a little bit sketchy, but okay, great. We're going to see a switch from Eternatus probably into Incineroar. Yep, into Incineroar. So this is great because we should be able to get a substitute up. We do also have the switch into Thundurus if need be. We are going to, yep, get that up. We will hit the Tailwind. And so now, yeah, if my opponent breaks my sub, a little bit scary with something like a Scald. But we are going to see a Nature's... Oh, interesting. Nature's Madness will hit into Substitute. Yeah, obviously the sub will fade. I like Scald into this slot because it feels very free with a Protect. What is my punishment for Protect? I'm going to Protect here. I think that it's pretty safe. We are going to see a switch out, I'm guessing, into Eternatus. Into Rilla. So this is a little bit tricky because now you still have continued fake out pressure. So yeah, what do you go for here? If we burn the... Oh, we can't burn. I was like, oh, we can burn the Rillaboom. We can burn the Rillaboom. Unfortunately, no burn. A very smart read of Nature's Madness into Suicune. So now what? We have Fake Out Boys. This Feeny is a problem. I'm gonna swap into Thundurus and go for a Behemoth Blade onto Feeny. My opponent's been switching pretty aggressively, so I'm hoping we can get damage onto Feeny, right? Because I need Feeny gone. We will see Grassy Glide come out. That's fine. That did a lot. That did way more than I thought it was going to. We will hit the Behemoth Blade. I don't think we'll KO with another hit, but what? I don't expect Feeny to have Protect. Yeah, but Thundurus took way more than I would have liked. I want to... I'm going to Thunderbolt into Feeny and Blade into Rilla. We're going to see Feeny Protect. I think that that's fine. We probably are going to have to take another Glide. Oh, interesting. No Glide onto Thundurus, which is scary, but let's see. Maybe, what? Maybe they go for a Wood Hammer onto it to pick up the knockout? We will see. Oh, high horsepower. High horsepower on a Zacian. Zacian goes down. What happens here? We do have Landorus. Landorus does have Earth Power. So we can play aggressive, right? We can say, hey, I'm expecting Rilla to swap out. Because we can, let's Thunderbolt here. Let's go for an Earth Power onto the Rilla slot. Calling a switch. This is aggressive. This is really aggressive. We get it wrong. Lando takes a lot. I don't think we'll pick up the KO. We do not. We will be able to, luckily, Thunderbolt into... Alright, we need a Paralysis on Feeny. Okay, we get a Paralysis. That's good. We'll take that. What? We fodder Suicune. We fodder Suicune. We do this. We fodder out Suicune to eat the earth, to eat the Grassy Glide. From there, we can... Okay, if Suicune can live a hit, this is potentially doable. Because I was gonna say we can stall out the grassy terrain, but I don't think we're gonna be able to stall it out. We will. We don't even KO Feeny. We do get a double paralysis, which is great, but there is still grassy. Unless if grassy terrain goes away this turn, we can come back from this. Okay. Wait, this is potentially salvageable, right? Because now we have access to Landorus. We have to double up. Yeah, we have to double up Rillaboom and hope that Feeny is paralyzed for a third turn. We can do this. We can... Yeah, we have to Earth Power. We have to do this. We have to hope that it's enough. I don't think it is, unfortunately. We will see a Rillaboom swap out. I think that that's a really smart play because you're guaranteeing that you'll have the Grassy Glide priority and basically making it so, yeah, I can't win from that point. A very good switch. Yeah, Incineroar isn't doing much here. We will see the Earth Power come out, pick up the KO. That lets you swap in Rillaboom to Grassy Glide into... Yeah, because now you have Eternatus next to Rillaboom, where you can reset the terrain. You can make it so you have priority Grassy Glide to pick up the KO onto onto what is it called, Landorus, and then I cannot unfortunately KO you back. So I wish I had protected at this point, but yeah, I think there's really nothing we can do at this point. So really, I think really well done to my opponent being able to pivot effectively, and I think, yeah, that turn where they swapped out Feeny, where they swapped out into Incineroar, saying, hey, yeah, I know you're going to go for Earth Power, was a really good call on their part. I also played very aggressively, calling a switch from Rillaboom, not even saying, hey, you're just going to stick it out and go for a Grassy Glide, because that was a really hard-hitting Rillaboom, and I think if we had picked up the KO there and then swapped around, we would have been in a much better spot. But yeah, like I said, very well done to my opponent, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day. Ooh, and it's Tornogre. So it is Scizor, Kyogre, Regieleki with Tornadus, Incineroar, and Rillaboom. So we have a lot of good stuff for Kyogre, right? We have Thundurus, because there is no Primarina either. So Thundurus is looking really good here. We do have to worry about Scizor, but we also have Suicune, right? So we could do Suicune, Thundurus. Suicune, Thundurus, Suicune? Thundurus, Rilla? How much speed do we have on Rilla? Rilla doesn't have any speed. Let's do Thundurus Rilla with Suicune and Zacian. Incin is very tempting for Scizor. I think it's fine. We have close combat, which is damage. What is the big fear? The big fear is... Actually, no. I think this is fine. We do need to figure out how to deal with Scizor. And no, Steel is not very effective into Thundurus. We're going to see Kyogre with Incin. So this is fine, because we should outspeed the Incineroar with what is it called? With Rillaboom. So we can go for... I want to call... Because the thing is, like, I can call a switch and go for damage with Thunderbolt. But I should... Do I want to play it safe? We are Assault Vest, because my fear is they go for an Ice Beam because they're Scarfed. I could just Scary Face. No, let's just do this and go for a Fake Out onto their Incineroar. Let's play a little bit cautious this turn. We will see. Okay, that's fine. We will see Kyogre protect, so that's lovely for us. We love to see that. We get the fake out off into their Kyogre, into their Incineroar. So most likely going to see a switch into the Kyogre slot. So we can actually, yeah, let's go for a Thunderbolt here and then go for a swap into Suicune, because this will let us set up a Tailwind. It doesn't look like they have anything that can set up Trick Room, so we don't even really need to worry about that. And so I feel very confident with this switch. The big fear is switching into Regieleki, but even then, that's not too big of a deal because of the fact that we can go for an Eerie Impulse. As we will see, yep, we are going to see Regieleki come out. Debatable about how effective the switch was, but what? We'll probably see a U-turn or a parting shot from Incin into the Suicune slot. So we will see. Yep, that's actually really good damage. I'll take that any day of the week. As, yep, parting shot is going to come out into Suicune. Fine. If you have, what's it called? If you have Rillaboom should come out now. We do have a full health Suicune, so I'm half tempted. Let's see. We're gonna see Scizor. So this is. I'm gonna go for a Thunderbolt here and a Tailwind. I think this is a little bit sketchy. I think Suicune can live a hit from Regieleki, right? We have full HP and some we have 4 special defense. Okay, wait. Thunder's going into Thundurus. Thundurus hangs on because Thundurus is a beast. We will be able to connect into Scizor, which is fine. We get the Tailwind off, and so now is the question of what is going to happen. We will see a Swords Dance. Swords Dance most likely going for Bullet Punch. Suicune is slower than... Okay, so what we do now is we go for a Scary Face onto Regieleki and go for a Scald onto Scizor. Because this means that Regieleki will be slower than Suicune, and we can go for the Scald. Does that matter? It doesn't really matter. This was actually a pointless play. We will see a Bullet Punch come out into Thundurus. Thundurus will go down. If we pick up the KO with Scald, I feel like we're in a really good position, right? Because then we do get the burn. Okay, that's fine. Thunder comes out. Oh, we have Wakanberry. Heck yeah, we do. That's great. Okay, that's lovely. Wakanberry, love to see it. We will get some recovery with Grassy Terrain. So what I'm thinking... how do we want to do this? Let's bring out Zacian. I kind of want to try and set up a sub. I think that's really greedy. Let's go for a sub on Zacian and a swap to Rillaboom. This is a really greedy play. But what I'm thinking is if we get the sub up and we get in Rillaboom safely, we can get rid of Scizor and basically maintain our substitute by double KOing onto Regieleki and Scizor, and then they won't get an attack drop with Incineroar. Rillaboom comes out. We will see a Protect with Regieleki, so that's good for us. Interesting. So we're seeing Swords Dance. We're going to see a U-turn into was that a crit? Yeah. Oh, that was a really big crit. That's a really big crit, and that's a really big survive. That's actually a very big deal. It's fine. We still have a substitute. We still have Suicune. We still have Tailwind. We also have already knocked Regieleki down a peg, so we're in good shape. Zacian can beat Suicune very comfortable. I mean, not Suicune, can beat Kyogre. We're going to see Kyogre come out. Rain is stopped. That's even better. Thunder is not going to be nearly as accurate. How do we do this? No more grass. Suicune comes out. We KO. No, we can't. No, okay. We should be able to KO Regieleki. We outspeed Regieleki. So what we can do is we Behemoth Blade here. That should be enough for a KO, and we go for a Snarl to try and reduce Kyogre's special attack, right? Because Kyogre at this point does not have the rain boost. So we might see a switch out into Incineroar. And if we KO the Aleki with Zacian, yeah, okay, yep, makes sense. We are gonna see the swap out probably into Scizor. Yep, this is Scizor. So interesting. Okay, God, I wish I had gone for. Could you imagine if I had gone for close combat? It would have been perfect. I knew it. I was like, what if I go for close combat? But I don't want to get the defense drop. It's fine. We're going to see the Behemoth Blade. As long as we hit the Scald, we should be in a really good position. We will do a very solid chunk into Incineroar, and we just need to hit the Skull or the Snarl. Snarl comes out, KO into what is it called? Into Scizor. But now what? You bring out a Lecky. We don't have a Wakanberry anymore, and we don't have Protect. So yeah, you bring out a Lecky. We have to hope we survive a Thunderbolt from Aleki, or they go for a Thunder and miss. Because then we can reset up Tailwind with Suicune, and that should let us outspeed. So we will see. Okay, so this is good, right? We will see an Electro Web. Suicune lives. That's perfect for me. Does this break? Oh, that breaks Zacian sub. We will see. Yeah, that was a really good call on their part. Behemoth Blade should KO. Yeah, we'll pick up the KO here. Oh, it didn't break sub. It did not break sub. Okay, this is still a game, right? Because you go for, you're going to go for the Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz into me. Does not break the sub. We'll be able to set up Tailwind. Because, okay, so now what we can do is we can, right? Because now you're forced to bring up Kyogre. Kyogre, what? Kyogre. We are going to outspeed Kyogre. We close combat into Kyogre and Scald into Incin. Yeah, we go for this, and we go for a Scald onto Incin. Right, we will... Okay, so close combat, down to the red. We should outspeed both Kyogre and... Okay, Water Spout. Suicune hangs on. Suicune is clutch. We love Suicune. Scald at this range should KO Incineroar. Okay, we do. And now we have a close combat to finish out this game. So overall, this was really scary. I think there were definitely just a ton of moments where things could have gone the complete opposite direction and we could have lost. But really happy we were able to pull that one off. Like I said, there were a lot of moments where I didn't know what was going to happen. But overall, this team has been a lot of fun. It does some really cool things. I really recommend checking it out. But we are going to switch it up. I do want to use one more team that was suggested before the end of the month, and then we'll kind of be back to rentals and trying to play some cool stuff. So if you have teams you want me to try, make sure to let me know. They'll be a little bit in the queue, but happy to do that. And yeah, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.